craving ice. I'm anemic, you know. Oh, it's so pretty, guys. Here's our Christmas story for tonight. Look at this. Look at this pretty picture. It looks like the Polar Express. Look, guys. Can you see that, Sherm?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to cut this out of the book and save it. I might frame this one. All right, let's do our advent calendar first.
Advent.
December 22nd
Advent.
for our advent calendar.
That's what it says.
I don't care.
It's not event. It's Advent.
December 22nd.
Advent.
Play Secret Santa in your neighborhood.
Oh no.
Clean a car's windshield or drop off some spice cider. Don't get caught. I was going to do that with sugar cookies last night and Sherm wouldn't do it.
Nope. I'm not doing it. I was going to with the 5 burnt ones, but you wouldn't let me.
I made sugar cookies last night and some Rocky Road fudge. I made some chocolate.
When we want to try that?
I'm going to cut it out here in a little bit. I made some chocolate fudge and mixed in some baby marshmallows and walnuts. Just made a small pan.
Just small pan.
And I made several sugar cookies. The icing's so much better this time. It's really good. Okay, so this story is called Believing in Miracles. It is by Angie Swartout from Kingstree, South Carolina. Swartout. For our son, Chris Van Allsburg's classic was more than a story. So I bet this is about the Polar Express then.
Probably.
Kind of does look like Tom Hanks on that train.
Yeah, it does.
It's weird. Alright, guys. Look at this, I said to my husband Lloyd, handing him my phone. The Grand Canyon Railway and Hotel in Flagstaff has a real-life Polar Express train. When he pressed play, the ad burst to life with a train whistle. Our 18-year-old son, Ty, ran into the room and grabbed the phone from his dad. Ty stared at the screen, a huge smile forming on his face. Do you want to ride to Polar Express? Lloyd asked. Ty nodded. From the moment he was born, Ty was different. He never cried, not even to eat or have his diaper changed. Tests showed damage to his frontal lobe. He was diagnosed with autism. We took Ty to one therapist after another, trying to find someone who could help us. I quit my job to stay home with him. The meltdowns started in his toddler years. Ty couldn't speak and struggled to communicate. He threw himself down and banged his head on the floor in frustration. I would try to hold him, to protect him, but Ty didn't understand. He fought back. He was 3 years old when he headbutted me in the face and broke my nose. One of our doctors encouraged us to put Ty in a home for children with severe disabilities. I'm sorry, but he will never be able to do anything for himself, the doctor said. It would be best for everyone if you institutionalized him. Would you do that to your child, doctor? Oh, some doctors have no compassion whatsoever. That wasn't Lloyd and I were willing, something we were not willing to even consider. In 2009, we moved to Arizona for Lloyd's job. I worried what the change would mean for Ty. When we met his new teacher, I explained about his outburst. She'd worked with students like Ty before, and their parents. She taught us how to recognize when Ty was getting agitated and what to do. When I saw the signs of an impending meltdown, I stood directly in front of him without touching him, spoke softly and slowly moved him away from whatever was upsetting him. It worked wonders. Within just a few months, Ty's violent meltdowns had decreased dramatically. The same year, my mom gave Ty a picture book for Christmas, The Polar Express. You guys ever seen that? I never seen him connect with something so strongly. I read the Choo Choo book to him multiple times a day. Choo Choo, he'd cry excitedly. Since Ty said only a few words, I treasured each one. They'd made the Polar Express into an animated movie starring Tom Hanks as the conductor. We'd bought Ty the DVD. He loved the song Hot Chocolate and hummed it even when he wasn't playing it. He learned to recognize Tom Hanks' voice in other movies. He watched the Polar Express so often, we wore out the DVD and had to replace it. When we got Ty a service dog, a shelter mix, they watched the Polar Express together. Ty's interest hadn't worn to this day. So when I saw the Polar Express ad on my phone, I just knew we had to go to Flagstaff to see the train in real life. We booked the holiday trip many months in advance. I planned everything down to the letter, even purchasing matching pajamas for Ty and his service dog. Oh, wish they had the dog in this picture. Ty was so excited that he had to make a calendar to count down the days. Here's a picture of Ty and his dad, if you guys can see it. Ty's in the pajamas, the red and black pajamas. The drive was long, but when we checked into our hotel room, a surprise awaited. Ty was thrilled to see that our window looked out over the railroad tracks. This is going to be the best trip ever, I thought. We ate in the hotel restaurant. Then we went out into the train platform. "All aboard!" the conductor called out as the Polar Express pulled in. Ty stiffened. He was reacting to the loud noise and bright lights. Before I could do anything, Ty dropped to the ground, put his hands over his ears and screamed. People backed away and stared. I hadn't seen a meltdown coming. Ty banged his head on the ground. His service dog moved toward him, but I wanted to handle this on my own. Lloyd held the dog as I tried to talk to Ty. He swatted me away, then pulled off his shoes and threw them. "Ty, can you do this?" I said softly. "Can you get on?" Eventually he calmed down and we moved toward the train. But there were people in line ahead of us. We'd have to wait a little longer. Ty dropped to the ground again. They could have let them go first. Instead of deflecting him from the source of his frustration, I tried to coax him up. I knew how much he wanted to do this. I was sure that if we could just get him on the train, everything would be okay. When it was our turn, the staff tried to help, offering to use the wheelchair lift to get Ty on. I could hear his dog whimpering behind him. With a jolt, I saw tears streaming down Ty's cheeks. I'd only seen my son cry actual tears one other time in his life, when he'd said goodbye to his grandpa before we moved to Arizona. I'd pushed Ty too hard. "Do you need to go back to the room?" I asked him. Ty threw himself at me and hugged me tight. I looked at Lloyd and shook my head. "It's time to go." I handed Ty to Lloyd and walked ahead of them toward the room. I didn't want Ty to see me crying. I felt like a terrible mother. I should have taken cues from Ty instead of pushing him to do something that was too much for him. That night, as I was reading the Polar Express to Ty, someone knocked on the door. It was the train conductor. He asked if he could come in and talk to Ty. My son's face lit up. "I'm really sorry you couldn't get on the train," the conductor said, "but I have something for you." He handed Ty his pocket watch. A replica of the one in the movie. I'd never seen Ty so happy. The next day, the railway invited us to come back free of charge. They made some accommodations, giving us a private train car and softer music and dimmer lights. With a rare dusting of snow on the ground, Ty boarded the train with his service dog. I watched in awe as he interacted with the conductor and with Santa. He'd gotten his dream trip on the Polar Express. We all had. That's so sweet. Wasn't that so sweet and nice? You know, God was smiling down on that train conductor when he did that. That's very rare for someone to care that much and do that. Like the other people, they were just staring and backing away. Probably some of them rolling their eyes or, you know, running their mouths or something. That's how it usually is. Or people take out their cell phones and then try to record everything. I see these, you know, when you see these fights anymore, you know how when you see somebody fighting, people usually break in and break them up, stop in and break them up. All you see now is somebody fighting or somebody getting hurt or anything. And people are just standing there with their phones out recording it, letting it happen. Because they'd rather get it on video than help somebody. So stupid. I am so thankful to God that we did not have cell phones and internet back when I was a kid. So thankful, no social media and no cell phones back then. So very thankful. Alright guys, so that was our Christmas story for tonight. I hope it touched your hearts. I'm going to have to go through this and see how many stories we got left. So, the one for tomorrow is called Book of Love. And of course, the Book of Love shows the Holy Bible. That is the Book of Love. Alright guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let's bring those souls to Jesus, and God willing, we'll see you guys again tomorrow with a new Advent calendar tip and a new Christmas story. Good night, guys. God bless you.